Yo, what is good, everyone? It is your favourite AFC Asian Cup commentator, JJ Collects and Plays, back tonight with another double header. Tonight from Group D, we have Japan, Indonesia, and Iraq, Vietnam. Iraq is currently through to the round of 16, as you can see on the live table. Japan and Indonesia both fighting for second. Winner takes second. So this is how it works out. If Japan win by 2 or more and Iraq are to win only by 1, I think Japan go through via goals 4, but I will double check that soon. But otherwise, yeah, it should be 2 really good games tonight. As we're just waiting for coverage to kick off in both games. As I've got sound for Japan and Indonesia, but no sound for Iraq and Vietnam. Because last night with both commentary sounds, it was very, very annoying and it started to piss me off a little bit. But if you're just joining, the situation in Group D is alive. Anyone can qualify tonight. If Iraq are to lose tonight, and so as long as Japan, Indonesia isn't a draw, Vietnam have a chance to qualify into the next stage of the AFC Asian Cup. Thank you for the reactions. Much appreciated. So we have still not got no coverage from both games, but we are close. We're only about a minute out. But if you're just joining, the situation in Group D at the moment, anyone can qualify. Vietnam can actually still qualify. It's mathematically possible if Indonesia or Japan are to lose tonight. But particularly if Indonesia lose tonight, Indonesia lose by 3 and Vietnam win. Hang on. Yeah, if Indonesia lose by 3 tonight and Vietnam win by 1, Vietnam qualify. Still no coverage from both games as of yet. But we're just shit. 10 minutes pre-game. Drop your predictions in the comments below. What will the final table look like in Group D? Will Iraq top it or will Japan top it? Will Vietnam qualify or will Japan miss? So this is actually mathematically possible. Japan can finish bottom of this group and not qualify. And here we are. We have coverage from Indonesia-Japan game, but still no coverage. We still have no coverage from... Yes, we do now. Japan top of the table. I actually don't think so. My prediction for this group is Iraq first with 6 points. I think Vietnam will pull off the upset tonight. Indonesia second with 6 points. Japan third by goal difference and Vietnam last. I actually think Japan will finish third in this group. Indonesia are in form. So which means Japan will still qualify. Indonesia can. Indonesia can make history tonight. They just have to get a point against Japan. As long as Vietnam don't score, as long as Vietnam don't get points, as long as Vietnam don't beat Iraq, and Indonesia draw points tonight, we could actually see Indonesia jump Japan in the table. Indonesia can actually still mathematically top this. Vietnam can't. Vietnam can only finish as high as second in the table. Actually, no, Vietnam can only finish high as third because Japan and Indonesia are head-to-head tonight. But both fans from all games, they'll be up and about. Because this group is alive. This is the group of death, the real. After Iraq's upset over Japan last match day and Indonesia beating Vietnam, it is game on here in Qatar. We have not seen Indonesia going past the round of 16 before. Indonesia literally sit 90 minutes away from going through to the round of 16. As long as they don't lose, as long as they draw against Japan and Vietnam don't win, they are through. So even if they beat Japan 1-0 tonight, they still jump Japan. Even with Japan beating Germany twice in the last couple of years, once in the World Cup and once in international friendlies, Japan's performance against Germany and their massive upsets against European teams is not proving here in the Asia Cup, as they should be clean sweeping this group, but hell no. Iraq played beautiful last night. I loved Iraq last game against Japan. They were brilliant. And Japan, I'm calling them out, they were weak. Indonesia, the fans are up and about. They are here to make history. They are here to upset Japan. And an upset could actually happen because Japan are in shit form and Indonesia are actually in good form currently. Indonesia coming off a 1-0 win against Vietnam and Japan coming off a 2-1 loss against Iraq. As I'm not going to have audio for the other game purely because last night the audio was so out of order it wasn't funny. But I do have audio for Japan, Indonesia because that's the game that I'm actually more looking forward to because Iraq, Vietnam. We probably already know Iraq are actually going to go 3-3 in this group. But if you've just joined us, it is mathematically possible for any team except Iraq to finish bottom of the group. And if you have been watching the BBL tonight, which is obviously the Big Bash League, the Brisbane Heat have claimed their second title in Big Bash history. Their last title came in BBL 02, but now BBL 13, I think, and now they've claimed their second title 11 years later. Iraqi fans, they are up and about for the anthem. But so are the Indonesians, that's I can hear at least. As the anthems for both games are just... Oh, shit. I have literally just gotten rid of one of... No! No way! No way I've just reached the maximum amount of streams for Paramount Plus. There's no way. Nah, got it back. No! What the hell? Oh no. Oh, thank God. I thought I lost it for a second. But we are just moments away from kickoff in both games in Group D of the AFC Asian Cup between Japan and Indonesia and Iraq, Vietnam. Anyone except Iraq can miss. Anyone can qualify. As Iraq are locked in for the round of 16, but have not finished top yet. Japan have gone into the game against Indonesia after the 2-1 loss over Iraq with nearly a whole squad change. 8 changes tonight for Japan. We're not far away. We're not far away from kickoff here in the group. So, I've just looked it up. It's mathematically possible for Indonesia to finish top of this group. But it's going to require a massive win over the Japanese and Vietnam to pull off an upset as well in the process. Here we go. We are kicked off. Oh, no, we're not. Not yet. But Vietnam to kick us off now. Vietnam have kicked us off in Vietnam, Iraq. But what a story this would be if Indonesia qualified by Iraq have a chance already. Iraq were almost in within 20 seconds. The other game hasn't even started yet and Iraq have almost already scored. And Japan have kicked us off. And Vietnam, they're out. Vietnam are out here. Vietnam are out here. 50 seconds into Vietnam. They've got a chance on the right flank here. Here we go, here we go. Vietnam, I think they've just wasted it. Yeah, no, that's wasted. But it will go back for a Vietnamese throw-in. But Japan and the Indonesia in a do-or-die match. As long as if Vietnam lose, they're both through. If it's a draw. As we have Indonesia for a free kick. And Iraq got control down the defence. Be a foul against Vietnam, so be Iraq ball. And Japan have a ball. I think. Yeah, Japan have it, I'm pretty sure. No. Indonesia. No, Japan have it. Indonesia were attacking. But now Iraq have it around their back as well. As Iraq, they are just pointing around their back, but they might be through here again if they can find the ball. Oh! We might have almost seen a goal from Japan. It would have been. So Japan wouldn't have gone top. Still, because Iraq are level at the moment. Was there a penalty? Was there a penalty for holding? There might be checking for a penalty here against Indonesia. It doesn't appear. We've got to... Oh! Japan might have a penalty here. Whoa, hang on. Japan might have a penalty. Alright, he's been called over, so the longer the check, the worse it gets. Was he denied here? Yeah, this has to be penalty. Arms wrapped around, that's penalty. And Japan will... Here we go, here's the call. Oh, it's a penalty! Penalty given! Japan have a penalty for holding. The arms were wrapped around, it was a holding against Indonesia, but it's bad for Indonesia's hopes of coming second in this group. They might have to go through their third qualification. But Iraq have got Vietnam controlled at the moment. As we look at the penalty. Why would it be a national hero? Exactly. I don't get it. It'd be a yellow card for Amat for Indonesia. The other game is at 0-0 still. But a foul against Vietnam here. Here we go. He's shooting. The Indonesian fans are behind the keeper here, and they're trying to throw off the Japanese taker. Here we go. Kick to be taken. I think this is going to go top left, and it's going to be a goal. Here we go. It's in. It's gone top right. It's in, and it's 1-0 to Japan. Goal for penalty for Japan. They go 1-0 up here against Indonesia. Australia ain't on tonight. If you've just read the description, my mistake, I haven't had time to edit the description. I will do that later. But Japan are going 1-0 up. No results so far from the other game. There you go. There's an updated table. But just if you didn't watch last night, Socceroos finished top of Group B over Uzbekistan with a 1-1 draw. As Indonesia might have a chance here. And Iraq are out to a chance as well. Oh, Japan, Indonesia came close to scoring, but the other game doesn't look like there's going to be a score. There are no late games tonight, thank goodness. And just to let you know, tomorrow night we have another doubleheader from Group E. Alright, so currently the table sits Iraq first, Japan second, Indonesia third, and Vietnam last. But tomorrow night, 2 games, South Korea, Malaysia, and Jordan, Bahrain. As that table looks, Jordan first, South Korea second, both on 4 points. Bahrain third with 3 points, and Malaysia last with 0 points. And Japan are into another attacking position. Nope, Indonesia have got the clearance, and Vietnam, they look like they're gonna concede very soon. That defense of theirs doesn't look calm. It looks rushed. As the Indonesian group itself, they only average an age of just 22 and a half. So their average squad is around the same as a U23 team. They have a lot of youth, but there's just no talent in Indonesia. They might have a bit, but it's just not there. It doesn't show. Because they don't go for big clubs. As Iraq are playing more attacking here. Uh-oh. Nope. Vietnam out to a counter. Iraq caught off guard. Vietnam through. Nope. Be against Vietnam. So it'll be a Iraq free kick. As Indonesia have a goal kick. Iraq have controlled possession on their right flank. As Iraq have lost possession and go through to Vietnam throw. There is no as offside for Japan, so it'll be a Indonesia free kick, and there'll be a Iraq free kick as well, coming as well. As we've got noise coming from the other game, as it's Japan with a throw. And from the other game, Vietnam has a chance on the left. Alright, Vietnam out to a chance. And Japan still dominating position around that right flank. As Japan have it on the right. Played it in, Indonesia clear. But for how long will we go for a Indonesia goal kick? And Vietnam still have it on that left flank. They're just keeping attacking. And Iraq have recovered possession well in defensive left side. As the current scores sit as Japan 1, Japan 1, Indonesia 0, and Iraq, Vietnam at 0-0 as well. Indonesia clear, and Iraq have it controlled possession, and they're playing through the centre here. Seems like there was a whistle from the other game. I'm not sure. I think that's offside. No, it's a foul against Indonesia. But Iraq have controlled possession here in this other game. Hey, what's up? What's up, Taylor? If you've just joined in, Japan have an early lead against Indonesia, and Indonesia's hopes of coming second in the group are starting to fade. And Vietnam and Iraq are level. Iraq looking like they'll finish top of the group as of now. Oh. Japan are almost in again. If you've just spotted, I have made a rare error in the scoreboard. If someone has managed to capture this error, please let me know, because I've only just noticed it. There we go, updated. And Japan might be through again. Nope, cleared. It's going to be a foul against Iraq, I do believe. Yes, it is a foul against Iraq. As Vietnam with a counter chance down this left flank. It's a 1-on-4. Vietnam have still got possession. They're still fighting hard here. And it's taken out. Vietnam throw. And Indonesia have a goal kick against Japan. So that's the pinned comment is the only prediction so far that we've got. As I'm not sure what's going on in the Japan-Indonesia game. Some call has been happened. I'm not sure what, though. Oh, it seems like it's an injury, so it'll be Japan ball. Yeah, so Japan will receive possession back. And Vietnam might have actually just scored here. Vietnam have just scored. I've just turned it back, and Vietnam have scored against Iraq. So Iraq 0, Vietnam 1. So if you've just... wrong message. Bloody hell. Pin. So, table will be updated as Vietnam have scored. Oh, hang on. Checking goals. So maybe I will not update just yet. That actually looks offside to me. But anyway, Japan have possession around their defence at the moment. So, oh, it's an own goal. This is an own goal if this is allowed. This is an own goal. This is an own goal. Iraq will be devastated. It's an own goal if it gets allowed. The referee has been called over, so we'll have a look in a sec. And Japan attacking through that left side as they normally do. I'm not sure what they're looking for here. I would assume they're looking for an offside, but... Here we go, here's the call. No goal. No goal. Vietnam have not scored. No, Vietnam have not scored. No goal. It's been ruled out. It's been ruled out. Well, I really thought Vietnam were actually going to stand a chance in this group, but maybe not. So, with that goal, Vietnam actually would have gone into third. If it was allowed, Vietnam would be into third, Indonesia would be into last. By goals scored, Vietnam had 3, Indonesia have 2 if that was allowed. But Japan was close to another goal again, but Iraq have got possession around their back as well. Let's see what your tips so far. So most of you on Instagram, if you haven't checked my Instagram story, please go vote on who's going to finish top of this group. And Iraq are almost through there, but Vietnam look like they're going to push again for another attack. So it looks like we have an injury here for Vietnam, but we'll go have a look at what's going on in the other game. It'll be an Indonesia free kick here. If you're just joining in, Vietnam have had a goal disallowed against Iraq. It would have been an own goal against Iraq as well. I'm not sure what the call was for. I think it was offside. But Japan are up 1-0. I should say, Vietnam have been attacking well in that game. And so have Iraq, but Vietnam just got unlucky. And Indonesia, they were unlucky to concede the penalty. But Japan have dominated possession. But we're having a look what happened. Oh, he's caught one to the head. As Japan are up 1-0. Still up 1-0. And if you haven't subscribed to the AFC Asian Cup's favourite commentator, what are you doing? Please hit that subscribe button. I much appreciate all the subscribes that I get. tomorrow I will start getting some highlights from the commentary and putting them on my community tab and on Instagram. You can go vote for them, and you only have 24 hours to vote for your favourite commentary highlights, and I will post a video on it, probably about 200 seconds. As Japan were almost through there, and Vietnam. Actually, no, I'm going to turn the sound off this game. And Japan were almost in again. A goal kick for Indonesia, and Iraq have got possession against Vietnam, but speaking of which, just being turned over and being turned over back again. Iraq have possession. And now Vietnam have possession. And Japan came so close to getting a 2-goal lead. Oh dear, Japan have just got the ball and given it up. But Indonesia might be out to something, but Japan recover well defensively. As Iraq have position around their defensive half, but they are out to a chance on the right. So currently as it stands, Iraq, with all 3 games considered, Iraq are top with 7 points, Japan in second with 6, Indonesia in third with 3, and Vietnam last with 1. So if Japan are to score again before Indonesia, it means that both are level on goal difference. But it doesn't matter because Vietnam are on 1 point and Indonesia are on 3 at the moment. So it doesn't matter. Unless Vietnam score, then I'll have to change it all. As Vietnam out to a chance here. Vietnam are out, but Iraq recover position well. As it's going to be a foul against Indonesia here, I do believe. There we go, much better. We have a direct free kick for Japan here. This should be an interesting free kick. It's gone short, cross whipped in, terrible cross, and Indonesia are almost out. Indonesia are out, but Japan recover possession. No, Indonesia have it, and the Indonesian guy has been dragged to the ground by the shirt, like the Bonucci Saka situation in the Euros. As Iraq might be out to something here. But I don't really need to do much, Iraq. They're already qualified for the round of 16, but I do believe that even if they draw this, as long as they draw, they finish top of this group over Japan, which no one would have said at the start of the tournament. Everyone would have said Japan would have clean swept this group, no problem. But Iraq have other plans. And Iraq have possession. And Indonesia have a chance here to get level, but have just gone, yeah, no, we're not going to get the ball here. And Japan have a goal kick. as we don't have much going on in both games at the moment. As it looks like it's going to be an Iraq ball here for a foul against Vietnam. And Japan are dominating possession still here against Indonesia. Oh, but Japan have turned that over. Indonesia might be out here. Ah, yeah, no, that's gone backwards. The frustration in Indonesia at the moment is actually not funny. Like, they are actually pissed. But it's just showing on possession scale. Japan have dominated 4/5 of the possession so far in that game, whilst Indonesia have only had their share of just the 20%. But Vietnam have got to clear it. Iraq have it. And Vietnam have it back. Iraq have it back. Vietnam have it back. Iraq have it back. And now Iraq have secured it back, so I do not have to say Vietnam have it back, Iraq have it back, Vietnam have it back, Iraq have it back. As Indonesia here, they're dominating possession as well. Now, not really, as in the possession calculator, they are less than 30% possession. But they found one out wide. Oh, it's actually found him. They actually found him this time. But no, that was terrible. Oh, no, never mind. Indonesia have it. Still Indonesia. That game's frozen. But the Iraq-Vietnam game ain't, as Iraq are starting to dominate possession a bit more than Vietnam would like, but that is how it is. Yeah, my Japan-Indonesia game is still frozen. I don't actually know what's going on, but Iraq did not score, so it'll be a Vietnam recovery, as now they've got a chance on the right. This other game is still frozen. The other game's still frozen. It annoys the hell out of me. The other game is still frozen. Just refreshed it. Oh, hang on. Iraq might have just been in here. No, they came close. As we have an Indonesia corner. Hits the side netting. Here's another look at that chance. It's just cleared by Japan. But I think Indonesia, they're pushing themselves too hard here because they're getting all angry at themselves. That's what you don't want. As Japan have somehow won a 2-1. And go the way of Japan, I do believe. But Iraq, Vietnam, that game, the fans are not as up as they were before pre-game. But it is hot in Qatar. I'm not sure what the final temperature is currently. But the Iraq fans, they are up and about as per normal. As we did have a chance for Japan, but cleared. Japan have got it out, but Iraq look like they have a chance here from a free kick. Quick free kick taken. If you've just joined us, Japan got a penalty early and took the lead, and Vietnam have had a goal disallowed. We're about 10 minutes out from extra time here in the first half of Iraq, Vietnam. We're about 15 minutes out from Japan, Indonesia extra time in the first half. Now these extra times for the first half will be a bit long, so we'll see what they are when we do get them. But Indonesia are out to a chance here. Were out to a chance, I should say. But Japan have possession and looking for a counter here. Good ball through. Shot blocked. Kuba blocked again. Indonesia have just stopped an almost certain Japan goal from going in, but Japan have one chance. Oh, he's played it back. It's in. No, it's saved. It's all off the post and it's been saved because they've missed. Japan have missed. It's going to be a goal kick for Indonesia. As Iraq have almost scored here of a really bad mistake from Vietnam, but Vietnam have managed to defend themselves for that mistake. And Vietnam, they don't look defensively solid at the moment, as Iraq are dominating them. As Japan have possession again. No foul, but Indonesia clear. But Japan have still got possession. That's still good for Japan at the moment, but they have to rely on Vietnam to score for them to go top of the group. And have to score again themselves. They came close, though, Japan to going top of the group as Vietnam had a disallowed goal early on. But Iraq might look like they will have the first goal of that game. Great, that game's frozen again. What? Close. I was about to say, I almost lost that game. Oh my word. The replay just came up and Japan were that close from going 2-0 up. But Japan have a free kick here. Japan have a free kick here. Here we go. Whipped in. Stopped by the Vietnam keeper. And Vietnam clear, but only as far as the outer edge of the box. But Vietnam have got the rebound clearance and have sent it back as far as the Japanese keeper. As Vietnam have the ball as well, just in the attacking half. But Iraq have possession. And Iraq have sent the ball nice and high, but Vietnam have got the header, but Iraq have it back. Another Iraq clearance will probably find Vietnam head. No, it will find Iraq possession, and Iraq are out to something here. Iraq are out. Oh, they came close. Oh, no, not this again. It froze for a second. But it'll go for a Indonesia throw-in here. They're about 5 minutes away from extra time in both games of the first half. as we're not far away from the end of the first half here in both games, as Vietnam are 0-0 against Iraq and Japan are 1-0 up against Indonesia. But the Vietnam fans, they are passionate. Vietnam have a free kick in their defensive half. But Iraq have got possession back. Vietnam have possession back. No, Iraq have possession back. No, Vietnam have it back. No, Iraq have it back. And Iraq have claimed possession back fully. And now Japan with possession as well here. Pushing for a second against Indonesia. So I will put probably 10 or 20 different moments into a poll on YouTube and Instagram, so you can go vote for them. Whichever one gets the most votes out of all of them goes into the highlights reel as the 10 best highlights of the group stage so far. Or I can even minimize that to 5. Let me know in the comments. And you only get 24 hours to vote on them as well. So they will probably start to come out tomorrow. So make sure you look out for that. As Japan in the corner here, and it's gone out by Vietnam for a Japan throw. But Iraq or no, Vietnam have a free kick, I do believe. As we are looking likely to see it go in Iraq-Vietnam game coming most likely from Vietnam actually, but we do have an injury in that game and we do have an injury in Japan, Indonesia as well. But we'll have a look what this one is. Oh, he's taken him out afterwards. So that might cause a bit of issue. As that's still looking at, as we have a Vietnam free kick here. So if just joining us, Vietnam had a goal denied very early on, and Japan had a penalty converted very early on. So as Japan are 1-0 up against Indonesia, Iraq, Vietnam level, but Vietnam look like they could score off this free kick here. Vietnam whip it in. It's in! Vietnam gotta go. Vietnam have a goal. This one will not be disallowed. Vietnam are up 1-0. And that is now going to have to get changed. Now the table will have to get changed. As long as Japan haven't scored a second. Doesn't look like Japan has scored a second, so table has to get changed yet again. Now this table might have to be all switched around because I don't know whether Japan or Iraq have more goals for. I'll have a look. Who's got more goals for. And it'll be a Japan throw, but nope, Iraq is still top, but Indonesia are still in third. Because of Vietnam's extra goal conceded. So I'm just going to change the table. Alright. We have an updated table. So by goals for, Iraq are actually no by goal. Hang on. Yeah, goals against. Japan are in second and Vietnam in last by goals against. But Japan look like they're on the verges of scoring in second and going top of this group. And Japan have blown away the chance to go top of the group. We're about 2 minutes away from injury time in the first half in both games. All managers should be pleased with what they've seen, except for Indonesia and thank you everyone for tuning in at the moment. So if you've just joined in, Japan had a goal for a penalty early on, scored. Vietnam had a goal, an own goal, disallowed for offside. And Vietnam have just scored off a set play. And Japan came this close to going top of the group, as Indonesia have a player down. We've got 5 minutes in extra time for Vietnam-Iraq, but we do not know how much extra time we have for the other game. We have 4 extra minutes in Japan-Indonesia, so not far away from halftime in both games. As this is an updated table, this is a live table we have of the Group D so far. Both games currently live as Iraq. The reason why they're ahead of Japan is goals against. Japan have 1 extra goal against, and Indonesia ahead of Vietnam because of Vietnam having an extra goal against. And Iraq, so looking like on track for both games to finish at the same time for the first half. Because there's a minute less in this, and this started a minute later, so as Japan are out to a chance again here, counter chance. And Japan, they have just screwed themselves over again. But it'll go out for a Japan throw, and Iraq and Vietnam have just paused on me again. No, it's come back on. As it will be a keeper's ball. So 2 minutes into the extra time in Iraq-Vietnam, and we're just almost 2 minutes into the Japan-Indonesia extra time. Thank you everyone for tuning in at the moment. So if you have just joined, Vietnam should be on 2 goals, but a disallowed offside own goal has put Vietnam on 1 ahead, and Japan 1-0 with a penalty, and Japan were almost through, and Indonesia now have possession. Before halftime, and have slipped. It's a slip, and Japan have a chance here before halftime. Oh, is that a penalty? No. He hasn't been called over the ref either, so we're about 2.5 minutes into extra time in Japan-Vietnam, and we're about 3 minutes into the Iraq-Vietnam, Japan-Indonesia extra time, about 2.5 minutes, and Iraq-Vietnam, and Vietnam have a throw-in. Vietnam have defensive clearance, defensive chip, only to find Iraq player, but dangerous from Vietnam to go over the top. It's going to be a yellow card against Vietnam. Oh, it's a red card. Oh, we've seen red. We've seen red. We've seen red pulled out. We've seen a red for Vietnam pulled out. So Vietnam player has been sent off. And they're up 1-0. It's just stupid. The argument was not necessary, but he's climbed onto his back. But the argument afterwards was not necessary for Vietnam. That's just unnecessary. You do not need to do that when you're 1-0 up. And there's 30 seconds left in Indonesia, Japan. And Japan have a chance for another goal here. Here we go. The short little chip only goes out for a goal kick. As Vietnam have 1 sent off. Vietnam are down to 10. So Van Kang sees second yellow. He already had 1 in this tournament, so the yellow cards carry on through the games. And it's halftime between Indonesia and Japan. As Japan lead 1-0 here at halftime in Japan-Indonesia. But we still have got game time from Iraq, Vietnam, and Vietnam are down to 10. We are just 30 seconds away from halftime in Iraq, Vietnam. And Vietnam have just had a player sent off for dissent. As Japan are 1-0 up at half-time against Indonesia. As Iraq might have a chance here. We should see the halftime whistle coming in the Iraq-Vietnam game at any second. Iraq, we're almost in. Iraq still have a chance. Why is this game still going on? I don't get it. This should be at halftime. We're into the 6th minute of extra time, and it's only +5. They don't want the whistle to blow, but they're all waiting for something. I don't know what. They're checking for a possible penalty. For fuck's sake. Just blow the bloody whistle. The other game's going to be back on. I'm not going to get time for a break. Yeah, the complete done. It's no penalty. Just blow the bloody whistle already. As Iraq have blown away a chance. Is this ref going to blow the whistle? Oh my god, is he going to blow the whistle? I'm not going to have a break. As that is... No, we're still not at halftime. What the fuck? We're still not at halftime. Just blow the whistle. We're into the 7th minute and we're only meant to have 5. And we're into the 7th minute. There we go. The whistle finally blown as Iraq 0, Vietnam 1. I'll be back in about 8 to 10 minutes for the second half of both games. as we are back for the second half of both games here in the AFC Asian Cup between Japan, Indonesia, and Iraq, Vietnam. So we do a coverage back from Japan, Indonesia, as Japan lead Indonesia 1-0 and Iraq are trailing Vietnam 1-0. But still no game time on yet. This is on bat and ball on string. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm terrible. Just doing this while waiting for both games to come back on. Jesus, I'm atrocious at doing this. Bloody hell. Useless. I don't think we've got coverage back from Iraq, Vietnam as of yet. Nope. As you can tell, I am absolutely tired as all crap because I do pretty much stay up and watch these games. But it won't be much longer. I won't be doing these games for much longer, unfortunately. I'll try and get as many in as I can, but unfortunately, I won't be able to do as many games. I don't think I'll be able to do as many knockout games as I would like. But it's been a good ride for commentary, but I will still be posting. But it just might mean that I might be doing something else instead. We have got coverage back for both for Indonesia v Japan, as both teams are just walking out now. we have coverage back from Japan, Indonesia, ready for the second half of that game to kick off, but Iraq, Vietnam is still waiting. As we are on the way from Japan, Indonesia, as Indonesia have started with possession. As it's a foul against Indonesia is my best guess. As we do have coverage back from Iraq, Vietnam. As Japan are starting to dominate possession on that right attacking flank of theirs. Indonesia have never made the knockout stage of the AFC Asian Cup, so kind of relying on Iraq to score and Vietnam not to score a second or this to stay the same. Or even Vietnam to score as well with it. As it goes for a goal kick against Japan. As Iraq have chance here. Goes for a Vietnam throw. It goes out by Iraq for a Vietnam throw. And if you've just joined us, Vietnam down to 10 men. Even though their score, Vietnam had one sent off for abuse. So let's look what's going on in the other game. As Japan have possession of the ball. Defensively, but not attacking possession as of yet. And Iraq have defensive possession as well, but need to get on the attacking front if Indonesia want to stand a chance here, because it's going to hurt Indonesia if Japan go on and score a second, but Indonesia are almost through there. As Indonesia have possession, and it looks like it's a Iraq corner. Corner whipped in. And Iraq have a goal. Iraq are level. Iraq have just leveled against Vietnam. So it's... which means a table change as well is coming. Moriyasu has been in charge of of Japan, since 2018. I think I've got the table right. I could be wrong. Let me have a look. I think I've got this right. I think Vietnam are on 2 losses, sorry. Yeah, 2 losses, yeah. As Japan have position around their defensive half, and Indonesia now at their defensive half position. Yep, that's confirmed. Vietnam have finished bottom of the group, no matter the result. Nakamura. It's in! And Japan have a second goal. The Samurai Blues are in again. I'm starting to think now Iraq are into No, because Iraq have 7 points. So they want Vietnam to score again, they go top. Alright, Japan go... Japan's goal difference goes for 3. But I wonder if that means Vietnam drop into last. No, Vietnam are already in last. I mean, if it drops Indonesia into last. Indonesia have the head-to-head against Vietnam, so it doesn't actually matter. There we go. Updated table and updated score. As Vietnam have a chance. Vietnam have 1 down. Yeah, so Indonesia's still in 3rd. Indonesia making way for its substitution. Iraq have literally just kept Indonesia's hopes of going through to round of 16 alive with a goal, and Japan have literally just got into a 2-goal lead, and Vietnam had 1 early, and so did Japan, but Suzuki claims that calmly in the box of an Indonesian play as a substitution for double for Vietnam, sorry. And Vietnam are down to 10 men, and Japan are out to, what, third? Oh, he's missed. As we have a Vietnam set up here. Oh my word. Oh, it's still here? No, the Syrian keeper, the Iraqi keeper recovers well. As Iraq are out to a counter here on the left. As Vietnam still their attack. Japan now playing defensive. Japan are now on attack. Blocked though by Indonesia as they now have a chance, but it has gone down the drain. And that is a foul against Japan, I do believe. So it'll be Indonesia free kick as Iraq a dominate position around the back. As Iraq, they've got a chance. Shot blocked. As Japan have a player down. I'm not sure who it is. Good save by Vietnam to stop Iraq getting a goal, but it will go back for an offside, so it'll be a Vietnam ball anyway. Vietnam. As Japan are almost through though, but Indonesia recover, and Iraq might be out to something. Japan have another corner. They've got a third here. Indonesia have had one, and Japan have had three this game. As corner about to be whipped in. Corner whipped in. It's gone very high to the back. As Japan, we're almost in again. I would have had a third. Let's have a look at what's going on in the other game. I'm not sure what's going on because they're showing the sideline at the moment. I'm going to assume it's going to be a Vietnam corner. It'll be their first of the game. Japan are applying pressure against Indonesia, but Iraq still dominating position around that back half. As it is Japan out for chance on the left. Oh, they've played the pass back. Japan with a chance. Oh, good clearance. Indonesia have stopped the Japan attack. Whilst Iraq is dominating position around that back half, now on the left wing. So, chip has almost gone in for Japan. As we have an Iraq corner. Clearance by Vietnam. And AFCON. Well, in AFCON, things are not looking good for some nations, whilst for others, they're actually they go quite well. AFCON. As we have games on from AFCON very early in the morning, but looking from table of the AFCON for the groups, Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria have advanced via Group A, with Ivory Coast in third. Cape Verde have topped Group B over Egypt, Ghana and Mozambique, as Indonesia were almost in there, as I was saying. In Group C, Senegal and Cameroon go through over Guinea and Gambia, and in Group D, Algeria, who I thought they were going to be so good at this tournament, it turned out to be so fucking shit that they have finished bottom of the group, consisting Angola, Burkina Faso, Mauritania. They should at least be getting second in that. At least. Like, I understand with Burkina Faso, the situation with Burkina Faso at the moment is so good, but Algeria is fucking shit. To finish bottom of the group at that, you can't make an excuse with still Group A and Group F games to come. As Iraq have a chance, and so do Japan. Oh, it's goal line clearance by Indonesia. That is some clearance. Had a bit of an eerie noise coming out of my right headphone. So strange. as Iraq have another chance on the left and Japan have an attacking chance on the right. So we have a foul against Japan, so it'll be an Indonesian ball, and we have, I believe, a foul against Iraq. Yep, not wrong. We are about 65 minutes the way through both games. Actually, maybe the Iraq game was 63 minutes through. We're already 65 minutes through Japan, Vietnam, as the drum comes out for Iraq. As currently, both these games, very interesting contest in both of them. Indonesia looking like they have attacking chances here. But the drum has come out for Iraq, whilst Indonesia need to attack more if they want to stand a chance for a point. Oh, that noise again. Fucking hell. That's the second time. As Iraq have a chance, and so did Vietnam. So did Indonesia, but shut down for now. Going to be a yellow against Japan. And history's been made for Barcelona as they're going to have two under-17s for the first time in their lineup. So 2007 born Lamine Yamal and Puku Barassi and Paul Kubarassi, both born in 2007. Is currently in both games. Vietnam looking for a winner and Vietnam and Indonesia with a throw. We have a chance here for Indonesia to get a goal. The referee just splitting it up at the moment. Here we go. Ball in. Short throw. Did Indonesia have one thrown down in the box? As the ball stays in, Japan have actually got possession here and are out to a chance. It's a counter. It's a huge counter. Japan have forces forward, saved by the Indonesian goalkeeper. As Vietnam are pushing Iraq to the limits. A foul against Vietnam here. Iraq free kick. And if you've seen the latest transfer for the Premier League, Calvin Phillips has officially gone to West Ham on loan as Vietnam had almost conceded again. But a goal kick in the way of Vietnam. They are pushing for a winner and they're out to a counter here. They're out. No foul given. But we have an Indonesia player down as Iraq have possession in defensive half. Will Iraq go for a winner or will it be Vietnam? Or will Iraq settle for a draw? As Vietnam are out to a counter here. Vietnam knocking on the door against Iraq. And Vietnam, we're almost in there, but good save by the Iraqi goalkeeper. As we look like we have a substitution coming for Indonesia via the injury. And Iraq, well, they might be out to something here. Good ball in, and has found Iraq head first, but gets to Indonesia, and Iraq has it back, but Vietnam have it back. My mistake. That might go into the highlights reel. Me mixing up Vietnam and Indonesia. But we have a substitution coming for Iraq. And we have all the stretchers out for Indonesia. This doesn't look good for Indonesia. I'm not sure what's happened. But it can't be good. We're about to find out. He's stubbed the top of the toe. Like, he's put on, full on, just got his stud, and he literally just put it straight into the foot of the Indonesian defender. Iraq look like they're gonna have another Iraq. Oh, the substitution. Come on, as Vietnam are out to a chance. And yeah, that gets ruled out as Iraq retain possession, and we're about 20 minutes away from extra time here in this second half between Iraq and Vietnam, and we're about 15 minutes away in Japan, Indonesia. as there is a chance for Iraq to win. Iraq have a chance. But Vietnam recover. But Iraq have another chance. Indonesia, they've played well. They have played really, really well this tournament. I do have some bad news on Cyclone Curly hitting Queensland. It is now officially a Category 1 cyclone as of an hour ago. It has officially formed off Libby Reef and looks like it will make landfall at 10 o'clock tomorrow night in towns south of Townsville. But we have a goal. Iraq score. Iraq are in the lead, and Iraq have got all 9 points at this point. Iraq are in front. 2-1 against Vietnam. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jeez, that'll go down to something. Me putting 12 onto Iraq. That'll be something. But now I have to update this table yet again. And Indonesia are out to a chance, and Japan, is there a handball? Is there a handball? They're appealing for it. Jesus. Wouldn't have been a penalty anyway. I saw the box. And that is an updated table. And Indonesia have somehow not scored. And it's a yellow, and it is a foul against Indonesia. "15 minutes to go until extra time in the Iraq-Vietnam game with a yellow card has been pulled out for Indonesia as a foul against them on Japan. It's quite late. If it's offside, the yellow card doesn't count. Okay, so then it's no offside. That's close call. But it's late. As Vietnam's 10 men down to 10, that is costing them hugely, and it's hurt them because Iraq have hit the lead and Japan are still 2-0 up. We've got about 10 minutes to go until extra time in the Indonesia-Japan game. So that actually might mean that Japan game will finish before midnight. As Japan have it in the defence. As the Iraq game, still 15 minutes to go until extra time. This is about 10 left. So, still be on. Can Indonesia find 2 goals to get level? Oh, Japan find a third. Japan look like they're about to find a third here. They're in. And it's gone out. Oh, wow. Japan almost had a third of a power shot as well. As it is a Iraq corner. It's cross in. Offside, though. So Iraq will not have the chance to go 3-1 up as it's offside Vietnam ball. As it's a Indonesia goal kick. Oh, Suzuki comes with the ball, so it'll be a Japan free kick. Double substitution here for Japan, and we have what appeared to be a penalty for Iraq, but obviously not. Checking penalty for Iraq against Vietnam and Japan, Indonesia. Japan have just dominated that. That's almost game over. As we are coming towards the end of. We're coming to the end of Japan, Indonesia, and so with Iraq, Vietnam. Iraq have a penalty, so the penalty's been given. Here we go. Iraq to take. Here we go. Oh, he's missed! Iraq's missed! The penalty take for Iraq has missed! It's hit the post! Wow, Iraq have denied of an almost certain third goal there. That is something special. Oh, Japan, we're almost in again. Japan, 5 minutes to go. They have done what they've deserved. Just what they needed, but it won't be enough to top the group as Iraq are still leading. About 5 minutes to go in both games. Both games are coming to an end, and as this tournament in the group stage coming to an end, I would just like to wrap this group up saying it got off to a rocky start for Japan. Yes, I know they won their first game, but not a good start for Japan as a 2-4 win over Vietnam, but they were down for 18 minutes of that first half against Vietnam. And as Iraq are almost in here for a third, but anyway, and Iraq got off to a good start against Vietnam. A comfortable 3-0? No, I think a 2-0 win over. Yeah, a 2-0 win over Indonesia, and then the big game that was coming, Japan, Iraq, and Iraq actually prevailed over Japan in a massive upset. Iraq 2-1 win over Japan and an Indonesia 1-0 win over Vietnam. As we have a chance for Japan for a third. Japan have a third. Japan have a third. It's an own goal. And Japan are up 3-0. Speaking of Japan, against Iraq, they were weak. 2-1 loss. And Indonesia 1-0 win over Vietnam. I thought Indonesia coming into this game would actually have confidence to make the round of 16, but no. Didn't seem like it, as they're getting pumped 3-0 at the moment. But Iraq are still 2-1 up against Vietnam, and Iraq are 3-3 in the group stage so far. They've just got to hold on for like another 10 minutes, and they're safe. As got to update this table. Be an own goal. But Japan, they've got through somehow, but this is going to be checked, however, so we'll have to wait and see. As about 1 minute to go in the Indonesia-Japan game, Japan have crushed Indonesia's hopes of coming runner-up in this group with a 3-0 win over Indonesia, and Iraq are still 2-1 up against Vietnam, I do believe, unless this has gone in. Oh my word, Iraq almost got a 3-1 lead over Vietnam, but it's a 2-1 lead, 3 minutes to go plus extra time in that game. But the Iraqi fans, they're still passionate. And they still will always be, because that's just Iraq. As we're into 6 minutes of added time between Japan and Vietnam. So this game will finish just before the day changeover here in Australia. Of course, Australian Central Time, not Australian Eastern Time, because the day changeover has already happened. And it's in. Indonesia have a late goal. It's going to be a late goal, but the Indonesian fans are up. The Indonesian fans, they are up because that means so much to them. Indonesia 1, Japan 3. So Japan will not keep a clean sheet. Jeez, that'll be another error to put on there. Giving Japan a 40-goal advantage. But no. Yeah, so that's the updated table with Japan's goal. With Indonesia's goal, sorry. That is the updated table, because I've not seen another goal from the other game. We've still got extra time to come in the other game as well. So that game will finish just after the day changeover, unless there's like 3 minutes of added time, which is highly unlikely. I reckon there's probably going to be like +7. As we're about 30 seconds away from extra time here in Iraq, Vietnam. Free kick for Vietnam to try and get level. Vietnam still have possession. Vietnam out to a chance to level here to crush Iraq's 3 from 3 hopes. But no, oh no, they've still got it. Oh, they're in. And Vietnam are in. Vietnam are level. 2-2, Vietnam are level. They've stunned Iraq with a second goal, but I'm not sure if this is onside. But it counts. So I'll have to change. But it's +10 in that game, so still a lot of time for Iraq to find a winner. Yeah, I think I've got everything, so, yeah. And Iraq might have one last sniff at Vietnam. About a minute and a half into the 10 minutes. We've got 10 minutes of added time, so we've still got like 9.5 minutes to go. So we're about 3 minutes out from full time here in Japan, Indonesia. To sum up the two group stages so far, I would just like to say that both teams have been competitive all tournament. Indonesia with a 1-0 win over Vietnam, and then of course their first game, which was I think a 2-0 loss against Iraq. But I mean, it is what it is, and a 3-1 loss against Japan at the moment. But, I mean, Indonesia actually pushed Japan for quite a bit of that game. Japan's attack was just pretty decent to get through that Indonesian defense. I will say this for I don't know how many times, but Japan's attack this time, I will actually admit, was a pretty strong attack. But defense, yeah, it was good for the first half, but the second half it's kind of crumbled. But and for Iraq-Vietnam, Iraq got off to their perfect start with their campaign, and they've beaten Japan, but they can't beat Vietnam. You must be taking the bloody piss. Oh, here we go. Oh, I was about to say, I thought Vietnam had scored a third. So we're about 1 minute away from Japan finishing second. So once this finishes, confirmation positions will almost be confirmed unless Vietnam can find a goal within the next 7 minutes. Vietnam have to score again in 7 minutes to get into third via 4 points. And Iraq might just say no. They have a chance here to get the perfect run. They've got 7 minutes to do so. Ball played in. Oh, so close. Iraq. With about 30 seconds left in Japan-Indonesia for their group stage campaigns. Indonesia will probably go through via third unless Vietnam can find a winner. Iraq came so close to a winner just then as well. Four minutes played in Vietnam, Iraq. Extra time. We are very close to full time. Any second that whistle's going to blow for full time. The last time Indonesia did beat Japan was 1981 in Asia Cup. I think in Asia Cup, I could be wrong. So about not that far away from Japan full-time whistle coming against Indonesia. As the game will most likely finish, and that's full-time, and Iraq have won the group. Iraq top, Japan second. Well, we still wait to see who gets through via third place. Iraq have won. So that will conclude Japan-Indonesia. That will conclude it. So that is the end of Japan and Indonesia's group stage campaigns. Will Indonesia make it through via third? So there's 5 minutes to go. This will decide whether they finish third or last. Here we go. Iraq have a chance for a free kick here. They're going to take it nice and quick, I reckon. So Iraq want this winner to go through with 9 points. They'll be just the second team. Third team to go through with all 9 points into the knockouts, following in the footsteps of Qatar and Iran. About 3.5 minutes to go in this one. Iraq still level with Vietnam. So if you're just joining us, the Japan-Indonesia game is finished. Japan 3, Indonesia 1. If the score still stays the same, Indonesia finish third and Vietnam finish last in the group, unless Vietnam find a winner, which means Vietnam go through to third with 4 points. But Iraq look like they're going to get the winner here. Not bad. Good clearance by Vietnam, but it goes out for a corner. Iraq have a last chance corner here. So that is the day changeover here in Australian Central Time. So we're going to go about 3 or 4 minutes into the changeover. As close, but it'll be a Vietnam goal kick. They want to go quick here because they know that Indonesia have fallen against Japan. And now all they need to do is just find a winner. Iraq, they are safe. I don't think the fans know it, but Iraq have actually finished top of this group, no matter what the outcome. Unless Vietnam score 2. No, unless Vietnam score another goal, Iraq have finished top of the group. But it's looking likely here that Iraq might actually finish second in this group, as no surprise. But a foul against Iraq here, about a minute and a half to go. If you're an Iraqi fan at the moment, I would be praying that time wastage here comes off this injury. And if you do get possession, hold it for as long as possible, or send it into an area, or just... As Vietnam, minute to go here, can they find a winner and knock Indonesia out the tournament? Gone short here. As Vietnam played through ball, but it's only found the foot of an Iraqi player. Oh my goodness. I'm starting to lose my voice a bit, as you can tell. Oh, there we go. Much better. But it will be an Iraqi free kick here. Uh, 30 seconds to go here. Will it be Iraq? Will it be Vietnam? Here we go. 30 seconds to... No, 15 to go. And Iraq have a last chance attempt here. Can they get the cross in? Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Last chance. Vietnam clear. Oh, penalty. Penalty given. This is just what Vietnam did not need. Penalty's been given. But still has to go. The goal still has to come in. But that is cost. Could it cost Vietnam a spot in the knockouts? But it's in the 11th minute already, so it was just unnecessary. He's got him from behind. It's just unnecessary. Just unnecessary. So if you're just joining us, Iraq have a chance to go 3 from 3 wins in this group with this penalty kick that's about to happen. Here we go. Here we go. VAR will probably have a look at this first, but it was given penalty at first, so there has to be evidence to say this has to be turned over, but he's kneed him from behind. He hasn't got the ball at all, so it's a penalty given away. The first time a penalty has actually been given without looking at VAR for the tournament. Here we go. Is this going to go in? This penalty could see Iraq go 3 from 3 wins in the group stage. They're all praying this goes in, but the last penalty taken by Iran hit the post and missed by the same taker. It's all on this. Can Iraq go 3 from 3? It's in, and Iraq go 3-2 up. And Vietnam are out. Just like that, Vietnam, big fat 0 points for you. As Iraq have a third. Just changing here. The table. Go 9 points. That is the updated table here from Group D. But that is the most heartbreaking fashion for Vietnam to go out in. A penalty that was just not necessary to give. Here we go. We are pretty much at full time here. We know the outcome almost. We're into the 14th minute of extra time. The Vietnam fans, they don't look happy. They don't look like they've got hope for a leveler. And that's full time, and Iraq finish with 3 wins from 3 games in Group D, and Vietnam 3 losses in Group D. So final scores, Japan 3, Indonesia 1, and Iraq 3, Vietnam 2. And that will wrap us up for tonight's stream. Make sure to stay tuned tomorrow night as we have live action from Group E, between South Korea, Malaysia, and Jordan, Bahrain. But for now, I am out.